We've had a great opportunity. This great opportunity is to be a partner with our educational institutions, and our partners with our educational institutions are Mesa Public Schools, Mesa Community College, and the City of Mesa. This great opportunity that we've been able to apply for and received a grant from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to help our low-income youth in our community learn the importance of and complete a post-secondary education. And we're very well aware that it may not be everybody that would like to go get a degree. They may just need a certificate with value in the marketplace, because we know school isn't for everybody all the time. So we need to make that distinction in our own community. But the post-secondary education is incredibly important. Right now, our graduation rate from our community college is 8%. Which is very, very low. I mean, it's a huge community college, one of the biggest in the country. However, the completion rate is very low. We took a sample poll from about 100 students in the City of Mesa. Of this sample of 100 students, they had graduated in 2004, and we followed them and tracked them. 50% of them applied for college the first year. The second year, only about 20% went back. And at the end of the day, out of that 100, 6 of them graduated with a post-secondary degree. So there's a huge problem, and it's a huge problem for us too, even as a community-wide, as employers coming and looking at Mesa, they look at Mesa and say, where's our educated workforce? And so part of that is we need to make sure that we can show we do have an educated workforce or a skilled workforce in their particular line of work. Our mayor has a huge initiative right now, and our 4 targeted industries for economic development to help our community are healthcare, education, aerospace, and tourism. Education is a big component of that. So this grant that we got the opportunity for fits nicely into that. So what we're working with is we're doing a lot of different things. We're working with our community college to try to align the educational systems really with the community college and the K-12 system. We're lucky that we have one of each in our community. One community college, one K-12 system, and then the city, obviously. So what we've started is professional development courses with to try to align the curriculum, having the teachers basically teach the same thing so that we don't have a lot of remedial courses by the time the youngsters get to a community college, and make that transition a lot easier for them. So there's a lot of work being done on a lot of different levels, and it's all been started because of this opportunity to work with this grant.
Shelly, you're describing a lot of changes in the curriculum itself to realign from K-12 to community college. Where are you seeing changes in the role of faculty? How are faculty buying into that, or what changes in their practice could you tell us about specifically?
Well, there's, we started with a small pilot group, so we're just beginning that professional development. We had a faculty from Mesa Community College and faculty from Mesa Public Schools design a curriculum specifically to target that, because they're definitely different worlds. And for the first time, we've had our K-12 and our community college on the same page, in the same room, studying the same material. This material that we had developed, it can be used in any subject. And what we started with was the English teachers. What are the issues? How can we address those issues? What really are the students? What are the student outcomes we're looking for? And what are the student barriers that are in there? So exactly how can how can we address these problems? For 3 days, this group of English teachers worked together. There was probably about 20 teachers together, which isn't very many, but it's our pilot program. It was so successful, everybody had a different perspective when they walked out of the room. But I know that the way this curriculum was designed, we're going to use it in math, English, science, and social studies. So we're going to use it in every subject through our pilot program. But we're just beginning this part of it. So it's still kind of in the new stages, something that's never been done before. So we're breaking new ground in Mesa.
Knowing that it's new, what were some of the successes that you can then spread to the other curriculum?
Some of the successes that have been spread is, one is the development of the curriculum. Two, I was involved in the design of it, so I can't tell you the specifics, too specific about it. I do know the overall feeling and the overall learning curve that was in there. Everybody was so glad that they participated, and everybody had a different perspective when they walked out of the room. Things that the colleges didn't think about with the K-12, and the K-12 didn't think about in the colleges, so there was that breakdown in between. So one of the things that was learned, and lessons learned, is we had the right people at the table, we had the right curriculum designed, and it was implemented correctly, at least for this pilot group.
Well, looking at these examples and maybe some other things that Mesa is trying, where is there pushback? Where are there challenges in this new type of collaboration between K-12 and community college in the city?
The pushback really is there's three different cultures. And because the City of Mesa has never been involved in education prior to this, we're kind of struggling a little bit to find what the city's role is. We have a strong city manager form of government. It's not a mayor's form of government. Everybody understands the importance, and the mayor's out there in front of it, and he's talking about it, and he's excited about it, and he knows what a difference it can make. But we're still trying to find our role. What really can the municipality itself do to help education, other than talk about the importance of it and put it out there for, in the front of everything else. But we also realize that education is economic development, and if we want to have a sustainable community and have an educated community, education is the key. So it's that there's been a little bit of a struggle, to be honest with you, between our between the three cultural institutions to try to find the city's role.
Maybe just two more things. Okay. You mentioned the role of industry.
Mm-hmm.
Are there some examples of business involvement that
Yes.
are key to this initiative?
There's a lot of examples of business involvement. One, Boeing has a huge presence there in Seattle. Well, they have a huge presence down in Arizona as well. We had the CEO of the Mesa, Arizona plant come and MC our event when we had the announcement about the grant. So they're very, very, very involved. We do have our chamber involved on a certain level through their education policy, but we have the big companies, Banner, Boeing. We have a new company that's coming into Mesa called First Solar. And with First Solar, we're very much in contact with them to find out what do they need? What are their workforce needs? So there's a lot of different levels that the business and industry is going to be involved. One thing is the internship opportunities, because obviously they don't want to have to hire from the outside, they want to hire locally. And so the internship opportunities are there for the youngsters, even in K-12, as well as community college. The City of Mesa, even as a whole, we have taken a step back and said, what can we do? To help educate our workforce. The city's in the position, the municipality's in the position that we have more than 50% of our workforce can retire in the next 3 years. And that sets us up for a huge problem. So we're talking about succession planning and how can we get young people in and get people involved. So we've taken a step back and said, okay, what departments can we create internship opportunities for cooperative office education students or CTE program? And so what we're doing is we're saying, okay, everybody, in all our different businesses, which might be solid waste, engineering, the building department, customer service, just all of our different businesses, where can we create opportunities for these youngsters to get involved? And bringing that back, we go back to more than 30 years ago. I was one of those students. I was a COE student. So I started with the City of Mesa as a cooperative office education student. And I started in the customer service, and that was more than 30 years ago. And since then, we've kind of let that program fall by the wayside. But there's probably about 20 students still that started when they were 16 or 17 years old today, and that's almost 30 years later. So we're creating that opportunity for us as a business, meaning the municipality as a business, and we're trying to do the same thing with Boeing and with First Solar and with Banner Health. There's a lot of different opportunities, Banner Health. We're working closely with A.T. Still University to try to create those internship opportunities all the way around through our community.